All right, guys, I am so excited to be working with all of you guys. And I know your goals, some of you. Some of you, I have not heard what your specific goals are. And some of you guys are brand new coaches. Some of you guys have just, started wanting to work your business. And I want you to look at this year and tonight as day one. Okay. I don't care if you signed up 2 years ago. I don't care if you signed up yesterday. This is really about your business. And in order to be a business builder, which is what you've all told me you want to be, you have to be consistent in your life, in every area of your life. And consistency is not an easy thing for a lot of us. And you have to be consistent in your fitness, and you have to be consistent in your business. And it really does go hand in hand. When you're being consistent with your eating, okay, so we're eating healthy, we're working out, we're doing our personal development, your business is going to be going up. And I've seen it time and time again with a lot of my coaches. When they're doing well with everything, then your business is going up. If you start faltering and kind of slipping with one of them, it's usually the nutrition, right? Things start going down, okay? And that's real life. It does happen, but I want you to try your best to be consistent. And when you do start, maybe faltering in your fitness or nutrition, be open about it on your page. And we'll get into that in a little bit. But I want to make sure that you guys know you have to be consistent with your fitness and your business, because I want you to think about when you got results. Like, I'm looking at Zach, and him and his wife just did PiYo, and they got really good results from PiYo. Congratulations, by the way. I love PiYo. And, that took a lot of time and dedication. And I'm sure there was days when neither one of them wanted to do the workout or eat healthy, and it's hard, especially around the holidays, to complete something like that. But if you're doing those things every single day, you're eating healthy, you're working out, you're getting your sleep in, all those things that help you lose weight, day to day, you're not going to see a huge change. I see with Kirk and I doing hammer and chisel, when we first started out, it's like we wanted to just see results immediately. And it really does take a lot of dedication and, persistence and just patience and believing that you're going to see a change, and this business is the same way. You're not going to be seeing your business take off right away from these things that we're going to be talking about. From day to day, you're going to be like, oh, you know what, I could probably skip this. But I want to encourage you to not skip it. Okay, because it's the compound effect. If you haven't read that book, it's amazing, The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. But he talks about, those compounded things over time continue to, make a huge result in your life and in your business. So when you're doing those little things, when you're talking to people, when you're checking into your challenge groups, you're sharing on social media, all of a sudden, over a couple weeks, you have people messaging you because they may have seen a post like 2 weeks ago. We call them the Facebook lurkers. They're people who see your posts and they don't always comment or like, but then all of a sudden they're like, hey, what are you doing? I want to try it. And you're like, I've never seen you comment or like on anything. But it happens. Okay. Some people just don't like or comment on things. So that's why you have to put it out there. So I'm going to go through a couple different things that I want you guys to make sure that you're focusing on. And at the end, I'm going to give you guys action steps. Okay. And in order to really do this one-on-one training with me and have more one-on-one time and stuff like that, you have to get these action steps to me. Okay. You have to show me that you're putting skin in the game. That's the thing. You guys want to be business builders and you told me you want to, and you're on this Zoom. That's a huge step to just show up at, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time on a Zoom and pull yourself away from your family and everything. So that's a huge step right there. But we got to see the action steps too, okay? The things, and these action steps are going to be things that help you with your business, okay? Okay, so number one, you have to know what you want to achieve and when. Okay, this business is all about setting goals, just like when you're doing your fitness routine. Maybe you want a six-pack, or maybe you want to tone up your legs, or maybe you want to cut a minute off of your mile time, or you want to be able to lift heavier, or whatever your goals are. You know what you want, right? And if you're doing a 60 day program, you want to get those results by 60 days. Me, I want to be able to do a pull-up. Before I had Tenley, I could do 3 pull-ups, and I was so proud of myself. And now it's like, oh God, I'm starting all over again. But I know by the end of these 60 days, we're about to go into our 4th week. Yeah, our 4th week. And it's like, okay, by 60 days, I have to be able to do at least one. So I've been going downstairs and doing 1 pull-up. With this business, if you want to achieve Emerald, if you want to achieve Diamond, if you want to achieve 2-star, whatever, you need to know what you want to achieve and when, okay? Number 2, this is really important, okay? And I remember when my upline told me this. If you don't understand something, if there's something that you've seen me post in the group or you see another coach talk about or something, look it up. Google is a huge resource. And I don't mean that in a mean way. You can totally ask me any questions. I can't promise I'll get back right away. For those of you that are new moms, you totally get what I'm talking about. Tenley's going through another leap right now, and she's cranky. But besides that, there are so many resources, and you will get that answer so much faster if you look it up on Google, or look through our team resources or something. Google's huge. You search one word. Like I was searching for the Team Beachbody Cup earlier for February, and just typed it in for February 2016, pull it up immediately without having to, ask my upline for it. So be resourceful for yourself, okay? You're going to get things so much faster, so much faster. Number 3, be organized. Okay. I am not an organized person. I'm sitting in my family room right now with my computer downstairs because that's where Tenley and I hang out most of the day. And it drives me nuts. Like I want to get back up to my office, but I'm downstairs. So there's clutter and stuff all around me and it's driving me insane. But with your business, you've got to be organized. Okay. So for me, what I do is I create an Excel sheet. Okay. So I use Google Docs. And I track people I talk to about challenge groups and people who I talk to about coaching. Or if you're doing a clean eating group, you'll do that as well. Okay? And just create it, have it really simple, have columns that say the person's name, where you talk to them, the date that you talk to them, and then like the 4th column, I usually leave it up for, whatever maybe I sent them information about coaching. So I'll say, that 4th column, I'll say sent information on 1/16. Okay, so I know when I look back, okay, it's the 20th and I talked to that person on the 16th, I need to do a follow-up, okay? And I do the same thing for challenge groups and the same thing for clean eating, okay? And then the other thing that keeps me organized is, so you have that long list of people that you've talked to about challenge groups, right? I highlight when the person actually orders, okay? So say that Courtney, signs up as a coach on Team Fit Addicted. Okay, I would highlight her name and then put the date that she signed up. So I know, okay, she signed up in January of 2016 and she's highlighted. I know she's on our team so that I can keep track of her, okay, and make sure that I'm helping her, okay? Super simple, guys. You don't have to have this amazing Excel sheet or buy anything to organize yourself. Keep it simple, okay? If you learn anything from this whole Zoom, keep things simple, okay? Don't overcomplicate things. Number 4, you have to stay in touch with me and the team. If there's something you need from me, please text me. You all have my cell phone number. If you don't, let me know. I'm pretty sure you all do. If you don't, just text me, okay? It might take me a little bit of time to get back because I do turn my phone off, and I'll talk about that in a little bit for you guys. But, stay in touch with me and connect with each other. You want to make sure that you're connecting with other coaches. If it's not on our team, that's okay. You can connect with people on other Beachbody teams. There's nothing wrong with that. I have 2 success partners, which I'll get into in a second, who are on 2 completely different teams, but we had similar goals, things that we wanted to push together for. So now we can bounce ideas off of each other and hold each other accountable. So that's number 5, okay? Oh, first off, to contact me, either text message, if it's something quick and simple, like if you're like, hey Meg, what do you think of this? Something simple. But if it's like something like complicated, like I'm going to need time to write back to you, email me. Okay. So it's just Meg Kozlowski, just Meg Kozlowski 19 at gmail.com. Okay. So just email me. So I make sure that I can get back to you. And I usually get back within, 24 hours or so. Okay. Number 5, success partners. Okay. So there's however many people, 16. Yeah, good. That's awesome. There's 16 of you guys on here. You guys are amazing. And you're showing me that you're dedicated. Awesome. But you want to grab a success partner. You want to grab someone who will hold you accountable and is not going to be scared to say, hello, you're slacking a little bit. You're not posting on Facebook, or you're not doing your workouts, or you're not talking to people, or you're not doing your power of threes or whatever. You need someone who's going to do that for you. And sometimes it's not fun because you have to call that person out. Okay. So if you guys pick someone in this group, as a success partner, you guys got to promise to each other that you're going to call each other out. Okay. Because that's how success partners work. When I was trying to work, when I just had Tenley, my success partners had to be like, dude, slow down. Like, babies grow fast. You're going to miss this time. Get off the computer. So you need someone who's going to call you out. And success partners are amazing, amazing. Okay. Number 6, you have to be selfish with your time. Okay. And what I mean by that is when you are working your business, you are working your business. Okay. Kirk and Tenley are upstairs. I was like, hey, I know you just got home from work, but you're taking the baby upstairs and I'm getting on a Zoom with my team because this is my time. Okay. And I haven't seen him in however many hours, but we'll have time after. So this is my time. You have to make sure that you're open with your spouse about that. Okay. And you say, I have to be selfish right now because it's going to create a life for us in the future where we're going to have so much time together. Okay, if that's what your goal is. So you have to be selfish with your time. And the other reason I want to say that is when you're working your business, stay away from the newsfeed. Okay, stay away from the newsfeed. Get your messages or your emails or whatever out. Okay, and stay focused. And when you get through that, then you can look through the newsfeed, because the newsfeed is such a time zapper. Like, you get in there and you're like, and it's so like stupid, the stuff that people, and I post stupid stuff too, right? I'm guilty. But it's like you get sucked in and you're like, oh, what's that person doing? Oh, puppy. Oh, baby, and then you just keep going. And it's like 2 hours later, you're like, I didn't do anything for my business and I have to go to bed now because I have to wake up at 5 a.m. Don't be guilty of that. Okay. I've been guilty of it. Okay. And this kind of goes along with it. Number 7 is, sorry, I think I'm getting a cold. Number 7 is you have to have business hours. Okay. So I see a couple new mommies on here and you're going to laugh at me because I know we don't have work hours, but you have to have work hours. Okay. You have to say, okay, before the babies wake up at 5 a.m., I'm going to get my workout in and then I'm going to go and, sit down at my computer and do stuff. For me, when I'm up at like 3 a.m., I'm feeding Tenley, I'm answering messages because it's like, okay, I can multitask at that time. Who cares if people see a 3 a.m. Message from me because they know I'm a new mom. If you have children that are sleeping through the night, maybe at 7 a.m. you're going to wake up and get your work hours in, or maybe at your lunch hour at work. I used to shut my door when I worked at the Y. And I would work my business. I'd be eating over my computer, but I'd be sitting there answering messages because I knew I wanted to get out of that place. I was like, okay, I got to make this happen. And then when I came home from work, I would sit down and do like an hour, just focused time. So you have to be very diligent about your hours. Okay. Now, if you are not able to have specific hours because of a baby or something else, you have a to-do list. Okay. So you have that power of threes. Guys, that thing is like a holy Bible for the Beachbody business. If you're not doing it, you have to do it. And I'll talk about that in a second. But, you'll have a to-do list of things. And you guys have seen my busy mommy to-do list that Courtney created a picture for me. She's way better at that than I am. But, it just has everything that you need to do in a day. And, for me, I look at it and I'm like, okay, I was able, when Tenley was sleeping, I was able to get 1, 2, 3, 4 things done. And then she woke up and I got to go, do stuff with her. And then I got to go back to the list. And that's what you have to do. Number 8 is power of threes. Okay. You guys all had it in your welcome email. If you don't have it, or maybe you misplaced it, it's in the file section of the 2016 group. If you look, there's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And that thing is a no-brainer, you guys. Like, it has everything you possibly need to do in a day. And I know it says like National Wake Up Call at the top. Monday's the only time you need to do that. The other times, just put your personal development there. Okay. Say what you read or what you listened to or something like that. But you have to do the power of threes every day. At the beginning, when I said those little things that you're doing every single day compounded together are going to do a lot, that's the power of threes. Okay. If you're wanting to get somewhere a little faster, and you want to say, then by the end of March, I want to be a diamond. Do more on the power of threes. Turn it into a power of 12. Talk to more people about coaching because you're going to get to those goals faster. Okay. The power of threes is the minimum, guys. So just do more. That's what I did. When I wanted to quit my job, I was talking to everyone, about the business and about challenge groups and stuff like that, because I was like, I want out of here, so I'm going to do as much as I can. Okay, number 9. This is really, really important, okay? And I want you to remember this. Keep your head down and focus on what you're doing and not what other coaches are doing, okay? We have, 16 people on here, okay? And everyone's moving at a different pace. Everyone has a different niche. Everyone has a different way of doing things. And maybe, Lindsay's going to sign up 5 people with a challenge pack in 3 days, and you're like, what? And then, maybe someone else is moving at a different pace. And you're like, what is she doing that I'm not doing? Don't do that, okay? You're doing the right things. Focus on the power of threes. Focus on what you're doing because your time will come, okay? Like you have to have tunnel vision. And I know it's so hard to not compare yourself to other people, but there's a reason that you signed up as a coach, okay? We want to help people. And there's different goals that we all have. And if you know that you're putting the time and effort in, it's going to happen. Okay. And it happens at different times for people. So be happy for them and keep moving forward. Okay. Number 10, this is like the most important thing. Okay. These are the non-negotiables. Okay. Number 10, non-negotiables. Adding 3 or more people to your network every single day. Okay. You can take Sunday off or maybe Saturday. So one day on the week you can take off. But every single day you need to add 3 people to your network daily. Okay, so I have that YouTube video training where it shows how you can do it from Pinterest. There's ways to do it on Facebook. I think the video shows that as well. If you're a brand new coach, you still have that list of 100 people. So just connecting with them, just reaching out and saying, hey, how are things going? That counts as adding to your network until you make it through that list. Okay. But once you make it through that list, you've got to be looking at your spouse's friends, okay, that maybe you're not friends with. Like me, I went through and I was like, Kirk, who are these girls that you went to high school with? I'm going to add all of them. Who are these people? And, some of them have eventually joined our team after how many years? Others, not so much. But hey, they're friends with me now. So, use that as an avenue or look at your friends, okay, and add them and just say, hey, I hope you don't mind me adding you. I noticed that we have so-and-so in common as a friend, or maybe there's people that like you went to high school with that if you click on another friend's page, you're like, oh, I'm not friends with Kara or David or whoever. How did I miss that? And just add them and that counts, okay? So adding 2 people to your network daily, minimum. You can do more if you want. Personal development. You have got to do something every single day that is fueling your mind, okay? And it doesn't have to be business related. The compound effect and the slight edge. So the compound effect by Darren Hardy and the slight edge by Jeff Olson. It's the same theme. And it's the thought that I'm talking about, the compounded, the things that you have to do every single day compounded together makes a huge difference. So if you are someone who needs help getting organized and doing a routine every single day and being consistent, those are awesome books. But I want you to be doing something that's making you a better person. Something that's kind of pumping you up in your head. Like for me, I love to listen to Jeff Olson because every time, and Kirk makes fun of me because he hates his voice. Like he'll try to have like the Southern twang and I'm like, stop it. I love Jeff Olson. But he's someone who like fills you up. He makes you like love yourself, you know. And then You're a Badass. That's another book by Jen Sincero. That's another good book to fuel yourself up and make you excited to be who you are. You know, you want to be looking for stuff like that. If you have already read both of those things or listened to, or if you hate Jeff Olson or whatever, you know, go on and Google, you know, some different books of things that you can be listening to that are going to make you a better person. Okay. And you need to be listening or reading something for at least 10 minutes or 10 pages every single day, even on like Sunday or Saturday. If you're taking the business time off and you're like, I'm taking Saturday off, that's totally fine. Saturday's a good one to take off because no one's on Facebook on Saturday. But you have to make sure that you're still doing that personal development, because I know that if you skip that day, you're going to feel it. You know, the days that I don't get personal development in, I'm so much more grouchy and just not happy with the world. And then on the days that I do personal development, I'm like, oh, everything's wonderful. You know, so make sure that you're definitely getting that in every single day. Okay, so that's number 2 for non-negotiables. Number 3, your workouts and Shakeology. Okay, that's a no-brainer. You have to be the product of the product. Okay, you have to make sure that you are working out and eating healthy. And no, you do not have to be in the best shape of your life to be an amazing, successful coach. Okay, what people care about is progress. Okay, so maybe you were able to lose a couple of inches, but you still have a long ways to go. People still care. Okay, you have to share that with them. You have to be open. And I know it's scary to be vulnerable like that, but people appreciate it and they can relate to that, you know, and they're not going to know if you don't put it out there. Okay, so drink your Shakeology and do your workouts. If you're being a 366er, I know that keeps saying 365, and it's driving me nuts because it's 366 days this year. So if you're doing that challenge, you don't have to post every single day that you're drinking Shakeology, but every once in a while say, hey, I'm at day 20 or I'm at day 10 or whatever day you're at, just to share with people so they know that you're doing that. Okay, the 4th thing, you've got to be an active coach. Okay, that's a non-negotiable. I think most of you are, okay, and being on Shakeology automatically makes you active. Okay, and I'll kind of explain the difference between inactive and active. So basically, to be active as an active coach, you have to have 50 personal volume points. Personal volume points are pretty much saying, okay, so you've either bought something that's worth 50 personal volume points, or someone's bought something from you that's worth 50 personal volume points. Okay, so when you're drinking Shakeology, that's 90 personal volume points every single month. Okay, so you don't even have to worry about it. You're automatically active all the time. And I always, you know, if you're being the product of the product, you got to be drinking Shakeology. You got to be doing it. I know it's hard at first because it is expensive, but if you just make it a goal to help 3 people per month, you pay for your Shakeology right there. Okay, like that's how you do it. You just say, okay, I'm going to help 3 people per month. That's my Shakeology. And that's the next thing I want to go over. Okay. The 5th one, I have them as letters, so I'm getting thrown off. It's E, so I think it's the 5th one. Success Club 5, guys. Success Club 5, and I know some of you guys had questions on what Success Club is. Basically, if someone buys a challenge pack from you, and I think the majority of you signed up with challenge packs, so it comes with a workout program, it comes with Shakeology for 30 days, and it comes with a 30-day free access to Beachbody On Demand, where they can live stream their workouts. That's 2 Success Club points right there. Okay, so if you sold 3 challenge packs in a month, okay, so January 1st to the 31st, is there 31 days? I don't know, who cares? But is there? Then you would hit Success Club 6, so that'd be technically Success Club 5, okay? And you get 25% commission on everything you sell. Okay, so that's Success Club 6. When you sell Shakeology Home Direct alone, okay, so say someone's like, you know what, I do CrossFit or I go to the gym. I don't want to do the at-home workouts. It just doesn't work for me, but I'll try your shake. You know, I'll see, you know, you seem to be really enjoying it, so I'll check it out. If they get Home Direct, Shakeology Home Direct, so they get it every single month and they can cancel it at any time, that's 1 point. Okay, so say that you had 2 people in January buy a challenge pack from you and 1 person buy Shakeology Home Direct. That's Success Club 5 right there. Now you see people who want to achieve Success Club 10, that's just 5 people, 5 people who buy a challenge pack. And Success Club 10, if you're someone who wants to get out of debt faster, you want to quit your job faster, I know it might scare you to say, oh God, I'm going to help 5 people. But if you make that your goal, your income is going to increase a lot faster. Okay, just telling you. And the other nice thing is that when you're an Emerald coach and you hit Success Club 10, you get free home direct leads sent to you. And I know this is a lot of information. I'm sorry, guys, but it's important for you to know. And basically what that means is someone goes on the Shakeology site or the Beachbody site and doesn't have a coach, and Beachbody assigns them to you. And they don't say, oh, Janelle Summers is a 15-star diamond coach, so we're going to give her more. No, anyone who's an Emerald, it's like a cycle, So say that you got 1, then another person gets 1, and it just keeps going with every home direct customer that they get. Okay, it's pretty awesome. I think this month I had 3, which is awesome. Think of 3 people that are just handed to you, and you're like, oh, I can help 3 people that I've never met before in my life, and I didn't have to go get them. So you want to go for Success Club 10 and Emerald. Okay. So Success Club is a non-negotiable. The next one is inviting people to the coaching opportunity. Hopefully you guys listened to the National Wake Up Call today, and we'll get into that at the end. But you want to make sure that you're talking to people about the coaching opportunity. Maybe this scares you, okay? And I have an awesome video on recruiting that I just listened to from 2 top 10 coaches this year. And one of the things that Bonnie Engel, who talked on the National Wake Up Call, said in this video is she said, you have to think about what coaching is doing for you. I guarantee every single person on this Zoom, if you focus for, 2 or 3 weeks on your business, you're going to see a huge change in the way that you respond to people, especially like your spouse in a good way, the way that you feel about yourself. You're just going to feel like a better person just by doing this business, which is crazy. It's crazy. But when you're helping other people, it makes you feel better. It's one of the best things that you can do. So when you're telling people about the opportunity, it's not something icky. It's something that could help that person change their lives. Like if Janelle would have never talked to me about coaching, I would be working a 9-to-5 that I hated and, making way under what I should have been with a master's degree. And probably, like Kirk was reminding me, how mean I was. I probably would have been a completely different person because I was just not happy with where I was, and now we have a completely different life. We're both able to be with Tenley. So if that's what you want to do, you have to talk to people about that and give them that opportunity because it could be something that changed their life for the better. Okay. So don't be scared to talk to them about coaching. It's something that could change their life. Okay. Okay, the last one, adding 2 coaches to your business monthly. Okay, that's a minimum. Adding 2 coaches to your business monthly. So I know a lot of you are just on the brink of Emerald or you're just thinking about it, and Emerald is 2 personally sponsored coaches. Okay, so what I would recommend doing is making a goal to say, in January, I'm going to add 2 coaches. In February, I'm going to add at least 2 coaches. In March, I'm going to add at least 2 coaches and just make that your bare minimum of what you're going to do. And your business is just going to grow. It's nothing scary. It's nothing over the top. If you want to go faster, you can shoot for more. But it's something to just say, okay, I'm going to hit Success Club 5 and I'm going to sign up 2 coaches. Bare minimum. That's what I'm going to do every single month. And you will be a business builder by doing those things. Okay. 2 more things, and then I'm done. Make sure that your spouse, and these are not the non-negotiables. This should be a non-negotiable, though. Make sure your spouse knows what you want to do with the business, okay? And he knows what it's going to take, her or him. It knows what it's going to take to achieve this, okay? This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not. It's not going to happen overnight. You have to put the time and effort in. You have to treat it like you put $1 million into this business and you need to work your booty off, okay, if you want to see success. It always drives me nuts when coaches say, oh yeah, it just is going to take 15, 20 minutes and you could be making a ton of money. Guys, that's not real. Okay. This is a business. You can't do anything in your life, and not coaches, other companies. But this is a business. Anything in your life, you have to work hard for. If you want to build muscle, you have to put the time and effort in. If you want to lose weight, you've got to put the time and effort in. You can't just take a pill and lose a ton of weight, right? This business is the same way. And I promise you, it's the most rewarding business out there. I might be a little biased, but it is, because when you're helping other people, you make money. Like your paycheck is directly reflected by how many lives you're changing. That's nuts. Okay. So if you're helping your coaches do well, you're going to make money, and you're helping your clients get results, you're going to make money. Okay. And then the last thing, you want to keep your priorities in check. Okay. This is something that I did wrong. When I went for, and you guys are all baby coaches, so you weren't on our team when we went for top 10. But when I went for top 10, I had just broken my wrist. In August of 2013. So I had the whole year before that, but then around August broke my wrist, and I was so focused on achieving this goal with the team that I totally shut out my husband. He was my fiance at the time, and our relationship suffered. And it was like, my mom was like, are you even here? Like, we rarely talked because I was so focused on this goal. And then the next year, my health suffered, because I stressed myself out so much over that goal, and I didn't take time to relax. And that's what I want to prevent you guys from doing. Okay. So by doing all of this, you might think, oh my God, this is really overwhelming. How am I going to fit this in my life? You have got to take time for yourself. You got to take time to relax. You've got to take time for your priorities. If you have a show that you watch with your husband every single Thursday, or your wife every single Thursday, I want you to make sure that you stick to that. Okay. Fit it in earlier in the day, or say, hey, let's DVR it and give me a half hour to an hour. I'm going to work, and then let's watch it. Okay. I want you to keep your family first and foremost. No matter what, no matter what crazy goals you set with this business, because you guys can do whatever you want, but your family has to always come first, and you have to make sure that you remember your priorities. Okay. So if it's, you're going to have to sacrifice some things. You can't watch if your nighttime is when you're going to be working, you can't watch a TV show every single night. But you can say, hey, let's do one night. Okay. Okay. So something fun I want to do with you guys, as kind of like a little challenge is, and I love hashtags because then I can search all your pictures. I want to, and I'll put this in the message thread so you guys can see the actual hashtag. I want to do something from tonight until the end of March. Just when you're posting either your shake pictures or your workouts or whatever, just use the hashtag Fit Addicted Team Builder. Okay, that's it. Just use hashtag Fit Addicted Team Builder, and just, when you're doing your pictures, just put it up there. That way I can search through, and I'm going to randomly throughout the next couple months grab someone, and it's not like your picture has to be perfect or anything. Okay. I'm just going to randomly pick people who are using this hashtag and send you something little, just to show you that I appreciate you and that I see your posts. Okay. So just something fun. And then the last thing, here's your action steps. Okay. And you have to send it to, and I'm going to put my email in here too, so you guys, because I know that my last name is not so easy to spell. Okay, so my email is megkozlowski19@gmail.com. Here's your action steps, and I need this from you by tomorrow morning, okay? Well, I'll give you until tomorrow afternoon, okay? I want you to listen to the National Wake Up Call from today. If you haven't already done it, the callback number is 832-225-5065. Do you guys all get that? And I'll put it in here. 832-225-5065. Okay. And it'll just play the recording. It was amazing. Awesome, awesome National Wake Up Call. I want you to send me 3 takeaways from that National Wake Up Call from today. Okay, so it's with Bonnie Engel, and just tell me 3 takeaways that you get from it. The other one is I just want to know your goals for the next 3 months. Okay, what do you want to accomplish by the end of March? Okay, and by you sending me these things, you are showing me that you are in, okay? Being on this Zoom is the first step. This is the next step. You send me those things and I'm yours. You know, I will give you my time, my effort, and I will help you accomplish those goals, okay? But you have to put a little bit of skin in the game before I can. I think it was Lindsay Matway that told me, you know, you can only meet your coaches as far as they're going to meet you, okay? So do you guys have any questions on anything I went over? Nothing? Nothing? Oh, I hear Tenley like screaming at Kirk. Oops. It's like this annoying, I'm going to turn this off because